going to do today is make chicken broth. Now I've got a whole young chicken here. Says 5.3, actually 5.03 pounds. I think that'll be perfect. I'm going to try to make about 8 pints of chicken broth, and we'll get this out of the package and get it cut up. All right, now we're going to cut up this chicken and put it in the stock pot here, and we're going to put everything in there. Look, there's the heart. Let's take and come down through here and see if we can get through this here. And we'll come down. Take that fine leg. I'm going to wash off my cutting board, and we'll be back to continue preparing this. Okay, we're going to put in some celery stalk. I think that's going to be about right there. There's that. Let's put in some baby carrots. I don't have any whole carrots. I'm going to rinse these off. I'm not going to put in a whole lot. Probably about that much there. Even though they say they're ready to eat, I'm going to rinse them. Put them in there. Now we are going to put in a whole onion. And we'll just do that. Rinse it off a bit. We're going to leave that skin on here because we'll be straining this after it's done anyway. And that'll put some flavor into that chicken broth. Okay, 1 tablespoon of salt. I'm using sea salt. And we're going to put in 10 peppercorn. There's 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, and this recipe is out of the Ball book, Ball canning book. Okay, it says 2 bay leaves. 1, 2.5. That one was kind of small, so I'll put that in there. And now 16 cups of water. 1. And I'm going to throw in 1 extra because we had an extra pound of more of chicken than what they called for. So we're going to add maybe 1 more. So that's going to give us 17 cups. Okay, by now I'm sure you can hear the wind blowing. I'm hoping this will work. I plan on cooking this outside, outdoors, and canning it outdoors. I may end up having to can it inside the house. Here's our broth. Here's our ingredients, our chicken and ingredients for our chicken broth. Now, well, I don't know if you can see the flame or not, but it's just as blue and nice. Let me adjust the air on it, and I bet you see it. Yeah, now you can see it. I'm gonna go back to a clean burn there. Now I think the problem is I don't know if the wind's gonna subside today or not. Now right now it's not bad, but there'll be a gust come up we wished hadn't arrived. Alrighty, we'll be back. Alright, it came to a boil while I wasn't looking. I had the lid completely covering it and it was bubbling out. Kind of made a small mess, not a bad one, but I bet we can clean it up. But as you can see, I hope you can see, it is boiling, simmering. I got to turn it down, get it to a simmer. And I hope we hold up through this windy moment here. Okay, we have it simmering. We need to let it simmer for about 2 hours, give or take. All right, as you can see, we moved indoors. It's just too cotton picking windy out there. Blew out my flame. I was watching it, but okay, we're going to finish this up indoors. Now we're going to remove the chicken and the celery, carrots, everything from the broth. Now we're going to run the chicken broth through the strainer so we can hopefully have nothing but mostly just the chicken broth. Well, it looks amazing even before it's strained. We'll see what it looks like after we strain it. And I guess if we even wanted to go a step farther, we could have used cheesecloth also. But we just strained it through this strainer. And again, I got the directions out of the ball Canon book. And it says place the broth back into the pot and bring it to a boil. Okay, it's time to start ladling this chicken broth into our jars. And I'm using pint jars, leaving 1-inch head space. I'm sorry about the TV playing in the background. And we're hoping to get 8 pints out of this. And my jars are in the canner, heating up, so when we put the hot broth in there and then place them back in, everything will be heated and ready to can. Well, I need to move my next jar out of the way so I can put that one behind it. And of course we don't want this one to fall on the floor, so. All right, I think we made it. And we'll speed it up just a little to get through this. Once you ladle in the chicken broth, take you a damp paper towel with some vinegar on it and wipe the rims off around the jars. That'll help for a seal. Now we add the bands, and we're going to be tightening them finger tight. Now we'll add these to the pressure canner and finish filling the rest of the jars. And we'll speed it up to get through the rest of these. Okay, we have 8-pint jars, and I'm going to add a little olive oil around the rim of the canner. That'll help the rubber seal. Now we'll place our lid on and lock it in. Once steam starts coming out this vent, we'll vent for 10 minutes. After the steam started, we vented for 10 minutes, and now we're placing the weighted gauge on. Now once the weighted gauge started rocking, we set the timer for 20 minutes. And for my altitude here, the weighted gauge is set at 10 pounds of pressure. After 20 minutes, turn off the heat. The weighted gauge will eventually stop rocking, and let the pressures go to 0 before opening the lid. Okay, the pressure's at 0. I'm take off the weighted gauge. You see no steam coming out. It's safe to open the lid now. And be sure to open that lid away from you. You don't want that steam coming up in your face because this is still really hot. Well, now I must say that looks really nice. Now we'll place them on a towel on the countertop where they'll cool. Once they have cooled and we find that they're all sealed, I take the bands off. And if you find one that hasn't sealed, go ahead and place the band back on it and place it in the refrigerator. Once they've cooled, I take warm soapy water, wash off the jars, and place them in my pantry. Well, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, I sure hope you consider subscribing.